How can one man bother so many people by simply telling the truth? Freedom Friday with Carl Gallups, the Oval Office of Gulf Coast Talk Radio.
All right, welcome back, Gulf Coast. Welcome back, America. Lieutenant Mike Zullo is our guest this afternoon, and we're going to continue with Lieutenant Mike because he is the lead investigator of the Sheriff Arpaio Obama eligibility investigation. He's a friend of Freedom Friday, and he keeps us posted on all the latest, greatest information. There's several things we want to talk about, Mike, but first I'm going to ask you if you feel comfortable. I'm going to ask you to vindicate me just a little bit, I guess is the word to use. Several weeks back, I made just a kind of a nebulous announcement that we were expecting the possibility of something pretty big happening in this case, something coming forward that people would know and see and hear about. That hasn't happened yet. That particular thing hasn't happened, although there may be some other things in the works. But do you have anything you can say about that? Was I speaking truthfully back then? What's happened to all of that?
Well, you were speaking truthfully, and this went over the holidays, the Christmas and New Year's holiday. We were working feverishly to make a major advance forward in this endeavor, and we got really close, but unfortunately some other things got in the way and put a damper on it. I can't really elaborate on it right now.
Yeah, I know.
It's not totally out of the realm of possibility, but we do have other things that we are pursuing.
Right.
You made it clear, I made it clear, we have not stopped this. We are just taking a different tack now,
right.
Looking at this from a total law enforcement perspective. The media thing, the authors who write books, the bloggers, they're all out of the way.
Right.
This is about the truth.
Right.
And this is about a law enforcement investigation that is trying to propel itself forward because we know that there's a problem.
Right. Right. And God bless you, and thank you guys for doing that. Let me, before we go further, I want to ask you about Colin Powell, but tell the folks how they can donate to the Cold Case Posse, because you guys don't use taxpayer money. You do this on donations, and I know you've got folks donating and helping, but there's a lot of expense involved in this. How can people who want the truth about Obama brought out in an official law enforcement way, how can they donate to this cause?
Yeah, I appreciate it. It is very expensive for us to do this. We don't get compensated for this, but the traveling is just unbelievable and unbelievably expensive. You can donate real simple. Just going to mcsoccp.org. That's mcsoccp.org. There's a donation button, and we would just love, $5, $10. Just goes a long way for us.
Okay, that MCSOCCP, that stands for Maricopa. That's M as in Mary. Maricopa County Cold Case
Sheriff's
Posse. Right?
Office?
Yes, Sheriff's Office.
Maricopa County Sheriff's Office Cold Case Posse.
Okay, and folks, the easy way to get there, if you're listening, you're driving home, you can't write all this down, go to carlgallups.com, click on the Freedom Friday link. Under the special guest there, you'll see it right in the middle of the page, VIP guest. Click on Mike Zullo, Lieutenant Mike Zullo. It'll take you right to that website, and from there you can donate, and that will help with this investigation. All right, tell us what's happened with Colin Powell. So Colin Powell came out and made a disparaging remark about birthers, and see, you would be a birther. I mean, Sheriff Arpaio, 6 investigators, all of these forensics laboratories, digital document experts, people myself, ppsimmons, Freedom Friday, we would be considered these crazy birthers, and Colin Powell had something nasty to say about it, and you have responded. Tell us all about that.
Well, I guess, Mr. Powell came out swinging for some unknown reason with Diane Sawyer, I believe it was, on ABC News, and he really kind of shouted out to Republican leaders saying that, they need to speak out against these kind of presentations that demonize the president and this crazy birther movement, and that the Republican Party is buying into this stuff and it's killing off the party.
Right.
For Mr. Powell, I had to clarify a couple things. Number one, I am not a birther. I don't even know what the term birther means.
Right.
I know it's just something that the media has placarded against the foreheads of anyone who is questioning this document and where this individual was born or reared up.
Right. If the term birther means that you care what the Constitution says about the qualifications of the president and you want to know where this man was born, then you are a birther, and so am I, and I'm proud of it.
And that apparently is what they want to label us at. But Mr. Powell's comments were a little deeper than just that.
Yeah.
it seemed that he was trying to shut down any further dialogue on this topic.
Yes, he was.
And I can tell you, Carl, the thing that's very suspect to me is I've had extremely in-depth confidential phone conversations over the last 5 weeks, and I'm beginning to wonder if the NSA truly is listening into my phone conversation.
You don't reckon?
Because I don't think so. There is no reason for him to come out and even talk about this, because basically all the media coverage has virtually dried up on the topic.
Right.
But yet he's coming out here and he's saying this. Well, my question to Mr. Powell was pretty simple. I gave an interview to Mark Gallar in the Tea Party Power Hour, and I had opened the invitation.
Yeah.
You know, I will pay for his expenses to come down to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. I'll put him up in a nice resort and give me one afternoon, and I will disclose to you, Mr. Powell, all the information, all the evidence that we have acquired, and prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this document is a forgery.
That's brilliant, Mike. And the other thing is, tell Mr. Powell to bring with him documents that prove otherwise.